kicker Harrison Butker ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Kansas City. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Chris Jones busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they got after them early.
They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A gain of 4, not enough. And it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. The 49ers have Richie James back deep. This is fielded at the 27. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Time to see what Patrick Mahomes can do here with his first possession. The quarterback out of Texas Tech getting set to lead this KC Chiefs offense.
And simply put, for many, he's the gold standard for quarterbacks in today's NFL because of his ability to create, find the open man, use all the different arm angles that he has. He's a complete package, and boy, his team loves to play around him.
Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On 1st down, they go back to Pacheco. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Nick Bosa using that speed to get in there and break that play up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Here's Jerick McKinnon, his first carry of the ball game. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. Now inside the 25. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
Jake Moody now for the point after. And the 49ers grab a 7-0 lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This taken in at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Mahomes going to throw. No, ball, that fumble. It's out, it's loose. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they're set up in a golden position here right around the 10-yard line.
But that's the down and distance coaches always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's third and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Touchdown! Deebo Samuel from 10 yards out. And the Niners are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Moody good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. So here's Moody back out there now to send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. Unable to corral him, he fights through. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. KC's offense ready to take over. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. They juked him. And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. That's complete to the tight end, Werner. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Niners have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Moody good with the extra point, and it's now 21-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it all ends with a George Kittle touchdown. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled it to 15. Been a nightmare of a first quarter for him. 2 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown. As he starts again here, 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll start the drive here with Pacheco. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 10.
21-0 our score after 1. Second quarter from Arrowhead. It's the Chiefs in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Pass over the middle tipped, but he still brings it in. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Well, sure looked pretty coming off of his hand, but sometimes you might have to take a little bit off of it. That one looked a little too hot to handle.
Yeah, but off the tip, hey, they still got the catch, right?
It's amazing, isn't it? Even when it goes wrong, it turns out right.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Another grab here for the dynamic Christian McCaffrey.
Offside, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
Here's Purdy on 1st and 10. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. Touchdown! Deebo Samuel with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the 49ers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Well, you talk about a team coming into an opposing stadium and just taking the life right out of a crowd. That's what we're witnessing here. 27-0 Charles.
And this defense, they've just looked completely unprepared for what's been thrown at them. And you know they're supposed to adjust series to series. That has not happened for them, so I don't think halftime adjustments are going to help a heck of a lot. They are in major trouble unless they figure out something really fast.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
A run by Pacheco on second down. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Chiefs first down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Mahomes now on first down. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out, because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker. As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield at man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Now Mahomes to the right side. It's Kelsey. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on 4th.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
Taking a shot for Samuel. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Man, this is ridiculous, man.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so are they going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Purdy to throw it on first down. And his throw here's incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Purdy will look to throw again here. 49ers. Deebo Samuel on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the 49ers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Moody good with the extra point. And that makes this 35-0 now.
Chiefs nothing.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Chiefs going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting 49ers on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report. The highlights from the first half, all one-sided. This one got out of hand early, and now you have to wonder how these teams will approach this second half, because this one's already close to being in the bag, if it's not already. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Mahomes now to throw. That'll be caught by Rice. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, and that was a nice job of improvising, but it's not normal. Usually when the screen pass is taken away, you're taught to just throw the ball at the ground at the feet of the receiver so that you don't get it intercepted and just start over, but he ended up finding another receiver.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. There are times to run that fake, and there are times to not run it, and this, without question, would fall in the latter category.
Well, I don't know about without question, partner.